Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
That's a horse dewormer.
The ivermectin buzz still hasn't died down. So much so that in the first week of September, the Federal Drug Authority tweeted this out. Across the US, there are 55 poison control centers that have reported a 245% increase in ivermectin poisoning across the country. So, what is ivermectin, and why are people still using it? Here are 6 things you need to know about the drug. Ivermectin was discovered in 1975. The discovery was highly effective at eradicating parasites and diseases in livestock. The researchers that discovered the drug were even awarded a Nobel Prize in 2015. Since then, it's been approved for use in humans to treat infections caused by parasitic worms, head lice, and certain skin conditions. In recent years, ivermectin has been investigated for potential antiviral properties. Tests controlled in lab environments suggest that ivermectin could slow the reproduction of the Zika virus, which is spread by mosquitoes. But the effects of a drug in a controlled lab and in a living organism are not the same. The trials to date have had spotty results. So, where did the idea that ivermectin could cure COVID-19 come from? Early in 2020, a lab study in Australia on cell cultures found that a single dose could cause a 5,000-fold reduction in virus particle numbers. The effects on actual humans could be very different, but the drug had potential. Then came a handful of preprint studies on the benefits of ivermectin in COVID-19. Preprint studies are scientific studies that are placed in the public domain before being peer-reviewed. A US group called Surgisphere put out a preprint study showing that ivermectin reduced death rates. This triggered a wave of demand across the globe for the drug. There was only one problem: the study was withdrawn. And there's another large study from November 2020 which also caused confusion. A large clinical trial claimed that ivermectin had a strong effect on COVID-19. But in July 2021, the study was retracted because of fraud and plagiarism. The problem with the study was that for the better part of the year, respected scientists included it in their reviews and doctors used it as evidence to treat patients. Some governments even acknowledged its findings. Researchers have called the fact that the study was taken seriously for so long a monumental failure in the scientific community. This single fraudulent paper is likely to have led to millions of people to take ivermectin to prevent or cure COVID-19. A bunch of other studies have also been found to have serious inconsistencies. A more rigorous clinical study from Oxford University is still underway. But it's not just questionable studies. So-called advocacy groups and anti-vaxxers are pushing ivermectin. 2 of the most prominent groups are the UK-based British Ivermectin Recommendation Development and the US-based Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. Doctors in both groups have published protocols, given interviews, and even has gone as far as calling ivermectin the solution to the pandemic. But the organizations have drawn scrutiny from other doctors who say these claims are based on weak data, accusing the organizations of being affiliated with anti-vaxxers. Interest in ivermectin also grew after Joe Rogan, an American celebrity podcast host, featured the drug on his show, and then the drug became a part of a greater war. As health authorities warned against it, conspiracists accused Big Pharma and Big Tech of suppressing it. Fox News features guests promoting the drug, and conservative hosts also began recommending it. Telehealth sites in the US began taking advantage of the traction and offered consultations about ivermectin online. Pro-ivermectin groups have taken off on WhatsApp and Telegram. Members share tips on how to get hold of ivermectin and continue to spread vaccine misinformation. But can ivermectin really help stop COVID-19? The evidence is just not strong enough. The available current scientific data does not support the use of ivermectin for treatment or prevention of COVID-19 outside a handful of clinical trials which are not yet endorsed by a wider medical community. And most regulatory bodies across the world are warning the public not to take the drug. So why shouldn't you take ivermectin? Ivermectin lacks scientific support as a COVID-19 drug. Ivermectin made for animals could have harmful ingredients for humans. Large doses of the drug can cause serious and dangerous harm. Ivermectin can also interact negatively with other medications like blood thinners. And overdosing on the drug can cause nausea, diarrhea, hypertension, allergic reactions, seizures, and even death.